Yeah, so the reason that the Supermax was even put into the NBA was for this exact reason, to offer superstars so much money that they don't want to leave. It's had mixed success. The problem, however, is we don't know what the salary cap is going to look like next year. And even if the Bucks went 16-0 through the playoffs, if the salary cap collapses, it may not make economic sense for Giannis to extend. And this could even also apply to the Lakers and Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis could be smiling from ear to ear, so happy to be in LA, but it may not behoove him to sign a long-term contract this summer. So the results on the floor obviously matter, but the negotiations with the CBA and what happens with the salary cap may matter more about whether these guys re-sign this summer.
And to be clear, that would mean that Giannis would play into the last year of his contract, and then, all bets are off. You never know when things like that happen.
My man, Windhorst. Supermax doesn't work anymore.
Okay. That's silly.
Great freak. Not worth his time of day this summer. Gonna be a free fish.
Here we go with the damn whale.
So excited, Leroy. Did you hear that? All bets are off.
Are you serious? That's what you got from that?
That's exactly what I got from that. That's exactly what he said.
So let me get this straight. If you sign a Supermax and the salary cap changes, your Supermax adjusts?
The way I understand it is you're only allowed to sign a certain percentage over, like your salary can only
Okay,
raise
so if it drops, your Supermax will drop.
Exactly.
Okay, but guess what?
So he wants to...
No. Wait, let me tell you why that's stupid.
Why? Those are the rules.
So say you can only sign for 25% of... What is it? It's like 25%, right?
I think the Supermax is 35%.
35% of. So say if it drops 10 million.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a lot more than that though.
You think?
That's apparently they're talking shambles.
So say if it drops 30 million.
Yeah.
Okay. That means that your $40 million contract becomes roughly 30 million. But if you wait, then it's not even that. So in the end, you're still
just on guarantee though. Like if you're a guy like Giannis, then you're probably not going to have the worry of having
the salary cap ain't going to jump 30 minutes in any given year.
It might. I mean, you'd think.
No. We saw in the crazy year, in the year of the crazy.
In the year of the crazy.
It still didn't jump that high.
Don't forget about China. The China revenue got messed up this year because of that highfalutin Daryl Morey.
Okay, again.
And I'll get to him a little bit later, by the way.
Again. It's still going to be if you sign a Supermax and you decide that I'm going to sign a series of 1 to 2 year deals until the salary cap comes up, you're still missing out on a boatload of money.
No, he's probably going to sign a big deal, but it's probably better to do it in a better economic year.
So you're saying he would wait to sign the Supermax at the end of his contract?
Maybe. Or maybe he walks. Or maybe he doesn't sign the Supermax and he walks.
And go where? Make even less money?
Yeah, but you're happier. You'll win some championships.
So let me get, you have set up the situation of income.
Yeah.
You have set up the circumstance to fit Giannis not wanting the money.
Who set up what? Windhorst said it, not me.
Well, again, he's paid to talk. Okay? But I think when he ate his cheeseburger, because he eating cheeseburgers.
Damn.
He sprinkled a little extra silly sauce on it.
I don't think it does, because he's saying it could end up with AD not wanting to stay with people. He may want to go somewhere else. Who knows?
But regardless of what the circumstances of the salary cap are, you're still going to go somewhere else and make less.
Yes, but
now with AD, it might be a little different.
The point of it would be is this. The idea of the Supermax is to make it so overwhelmingly financially beneficial to financially dominant for the team that has you, that you won't leave because it's just too much money to give up.
Right.
What he's saying is that the Supermax, if it gets dinged this year, there's not as big an advantage for the Bucks to keep him because it's not that big a difference to somebody like Giannis, who is going to have all world money thrown at him anyway.
So is that that only applies to the team giving you the Supermax?
It only applies to the team that has you, the bird rights team.
Okay, so anybody else could give you whatever amount they want.
No, if they have the salary cap space.
Right, so that makes no sense.
No. You can't. You have a max that you could sign, and you with a new team. For example, LeBron's never gotten the Supermax. Right. Because he keeps leaving, and he signed. There was a time where he was signing 1-year deals like crazy, but he can.
So nobody has his bird rights. His bird rights are like.
I think the Lakers probably have his bird rights now, but he's in the middle of a contract.
Right. Okay.
He signed a 4-year deal when he went to the Lakers.
Right.
Okay. So the way that works now is a team like John Wall. The reason John Wall is able to sign a gazillion dollar contract is because they have his bird rights. They can sign over the cap. Doesn't matter. Not dinged. Can give him the max. That's what it is. If he were to leave, he could only get the max of a team. He could get a quote unquote max, but it's a max going to a team like Jimmy Butler. Like Jimmy Butler goes on a sign and trade. He can only sign a certain amount of deals. That if he would have stayed in Philly, he could have signed a 5-year deal.
Okay. So the only benefit is the extra year, which nobody ever gets to anyway, unless you're a bump.
Extra year, and you can sign for a bigger percentage. You get a bigger bump if you stay with your team.
Okay, so what's the percentage if you go to another team?
I don't know.
Because what I'm trying to figure out here is, you guys, for the purposes of your argument, you are trying to make it sound like signing the Supermax is no big deal.
It's not as big a deal this upcoming year.
But why? The percentages are still going to work out the same. The money is just going to be less.
Yes.
No, but it's still going to be the same. It's still going to be the same monetary difference.
But it's not as big. It's not as big. Like the Bucks can't sign him to as much more money than a new team. So the difference of staying in Milwaukee and going to Miami, for example.
But why?
Let's say Milwaukee could pay him all the way up. Let's just say Milwaukee could pay him $1 gazillion to the Heat's $1 billion. Now they can only pay him $2 billion to the Heat's $1 billion.
Well, no, because if it's a percentage, the percentages are always going to be the same. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I asked you. If you have cap room, besides not being able to give the 5th year, could you still sign somebody to the same amount of money?
Is cap space.
Right. Okay, the only thing that Bird rules do is they let you go over the salary cap.
Exactly.
Well, then guess what? Then all these players always have that option if a team has space. So the salary, I mean, what the cap is going to be doesn't matter.
Look, here's what it comes down to. What it is it took the Bucks, it shot them right in the leg, and now they're limping.
No, it really didn't.
Bambi's
Because
about to
think
stop.
about this.
It did.
The only thing that the Bucks would have that any other team wouldn't have, because they have his bird rights, is the cap of signing Giannis wouldn't affect him that much. That gives them a boost. But if the cap goes down and it limits, there's still, look, again, the monetary difference between a team that has his bird rights versus a team that doesn't is still going to be the same.
Not as much, though.
What do you mean not as much?
Because it's not as much money. If you don't have as much money going to the salary cap,
then what's the point in having the bird rights?
Yeah, it's not as big a point now because there's not as much money.
Here, you're making it sound like here's why they had the Supermax, right?
the whole point of it is you're trying to make it you're trying to make it to a point where it's so tempting, where it's not tempting to leave because you get so much more money. A la Damian Lillard signing a gazillion-dollar contract with the Blazers. He can't sign that elsewhere, okay?
Right.
If he can't sign as big a contract, let's say Damian Lillard was up and he can't make that $50 million a year. He can only make 30 he can only make 35 a year. That would be the most it would be.
Right.
All right.
But the
and he
difference,
goes to a new team and it's 28. If you're Damian
well,
Lillard,
now,
you're like,
see, that's the argument we're having. That's where I'm trying to get you at, right? The difference is still going to be the same.
no.
Like the numbers are going to be off because they're lower, but why on earth would you run a basketball franchise? Mm-hmm. Why on earth would you have a rule that this is even possible? It makes no sense.
I don't understand. Why do you mean why they have the rule? Because they're trying to keep.
If the cap
the
drops,
the idea is to try and keep stars.
I'm fine with
in their markets.
I get that. You're missing what I'm saying. If something could happen in baseball, in basketball. If something could happen in basketball from the salary cap, and it allows other teams to be able to sign the star players who can get the Supermax for nearly the same amount, that's a bad job by basketball.
Well, hold on. It's not that he still can't get that money back, because if the salary cap bounces back the next year, he'll still be eligible for it because he's going to have all the accolades in the world. So it's better to sign it in his free agent year than sign an extension. This happened with D Wade and the Heat. Remember when the 2010 the free agent year? The Heat still tried to sign Dwayne to an extension the year beforehand. He just turned it down. He's like, no, I'm going to be a free agent. So Giannis, all he would be doing is staying with the Bucks and waiting for the salary cap to boost up so he can sign a bigger contract. Let's say he wanted to stay with Milwaukee, right? Are you on the same page? Say he wanted to stay with Milwaukee,
right?
Okay, it's better for him, what Windhorst is saying, to sign it the next year because the salary cap will likely be more repaired. It'll be fixed. Or if he's upset and he wants to go, there's no benefit of the security signing it this year. So if it does get punted down to the next year, it does open things up because the Milwaukee Bucks don't have that security that he's going to sign it this year. So they're going to go into a year where, yes, they could have the security of signing him for more money, but also everybody's going to be eligible to signing him if they want to. Maybe not to as much money, but everybody's allowed to pursue him, rather than this summer where they're the only team that's allowed to lock him up. That's the big difference. You're opening it up. Here's what it is. The Milwaukee Bucks could get engaged to Giannis this year, right? Or they could get married to Giannis this year. What this does is it kicks the marriage down a year, because let's just say you can't get the venue you want. Now all of a sudden, a gentleman caller, let's just say his name is Patrick Riley, he comes in with his beautiful hair, and all of a sudden, maybe he didn't get you as big a ring, but maybe he got you a more valuable diamond, a rarer diamond, a diamond that nobody else can have. And that diamond is shaped like the Larry O'Brien trophy because the Bucks failed you. So, yeah, maybe you stay in Milwaukee. Maybe you stay loyal and you're there with Chris. And Chris Middleton is up at the altar with you, and you're just like, hey, Chris. But then Riley comes in, and on the back of his steed is Bam Adebayo. And like, hey, baby, let's go. Let's go. And then on another steed is Jimmy Butler. And then on another steed are the baby goats. And then you're just like, yeah, this is pretty good. This looks pretty good.
I just think that the percentages, not the dollar amounts, but the percentages that another team can sign Giannis for, if he chooses to do so and wait it out, he's still going to be giving up a lot of money because the percentage differences are going to be the same as far as what another team can sign him for.
Maybe that's the case, but the problem the Bucks are going to run into is they've lost an advantage to sign him this offseason because it's going to be more valuable to him to wait.
But it won't.
And if that's the case, he's going to say to this, well, there's all these other teams. Maybe all these options are going to be open to you. Of maybe I can go to a new team. There's no problem. There's no incentive for him to lock up with the Bucks now.
There's no incentive simply because with the flood, you don't know what the cap is going to be, and why would you lock up for a long period of time when somebody can just come to you and say, hey, salary cap went down, instead of 40 million, you get 35. When you could just go ahead on and wait to see what the salary cap. But you're playing a crazy game. You're playing. Because here,
not a guy like him, right? Like if Kevin,
why?
Because if Kevin Durant's signing on a torn Achilles, you don't think that there's going to be a team out there that would give him a 4-year deal on torn Achilles?
But for all the things that you're talking about, right? As far as what the cap, you're making an assumption that the cap is going to go up.
That's true.
And I'm not making that assumption. But what I am saying is that to say he would just go,
but how could it get worse?
No, true.
How could it get worse? A pandemic and you angered China?
True. All that's fine and great, and I'm with you with that. It probably will go up, but careers, no matter what you think, they aren't as long as regular jobs. And you trying to play the market on your career, I mean, I don't know if I'm necessarily okay with that, because guess what? Think of it this way: if you sign that max deal, and then the salaries go up, doesn't your contract go up with it?
No, I don't think so. I think you.
Oh, so let me get this straight. If you sign the Supermax and the salary cap goes down,
is what it is.
Then you could lose money.
Yeah, like.
But if you
no. If you
sign it and the contract goes,
no. Your deal. It's like
you
a fixed
understand
rate.
what I'm saying?
Your deal is what it is the year you sign it. It goes up incrementally based on years.
Oh, years. But it has not. Once you sign that deal, it has nothing to do with the salary cap.
Once you sign that deal, it's in. It's in, baby.
Okay. So what is he waiting for now? Because they do the projections and then base his Supermax off of the projections.
Because his first year that it would sign off of, if it's not going to be as big this upcoming summer, or I guess coming fall. I guess this coming fall.
Okay,
that's going to get weird.
Right.
It's just not as big an advantage for them anymore, because he's probably going to want to wait, because that first year he'd like it to be bigger.
Now here's what's funny.
Here's
what's funny. Here's what's funny. We sidetracked, but all these explanations, and all these reasonings, and why it would be most effective for him not to sign the Supermax is because you want him on the Heat.
Well, it just sets
no.
It just
Spit it out.
It sets up better for the Heat, because here, let's just get down to brass tacks, okay?
Yeah.
Here's what it comes down to. If you're going to get down to a battle of cap flexibility and cap jujitsu, nobody rolls better than Andy Ellisberg. Dude's a black belt, okay? He is going out there. He is the Hoist Gracie of the salary cap. So cap goes up, cap goes down. It matters not. As long as you give Andy Ellisberg a chance and you give Riley a chance to throw the rings on the table, the danger for the Bucks is you let Greek Freak wander. You let him go out and tour. They wanted to try and sign him this summer. If it's not as beneficial to sign him this summer, and he's going to, hey, I'll stay with you, Milwaukee. I'm just going to kick the can on it a year when the salary cap goes up. Now you let a fox into the hen house. And instead, it's a silver fox. And that silver fox's name is Pat Riley.
So if he doesn't sign it this year, he has to wait till the end of his deal?
No, if he doesn't sign it this year, it is the final year of his deal. So that's it.
Oh, so he just signed it at the end of this year?
Yeah. He would just sign it he would go into the final year of his contract, and
so he has one more year on this deal.
Yes.
Okay. Here's the problem. Here's why we can't have meaningful conversations about topics. Why? Because you would like wrong. No. That's not true.
You won't open your eyes.
No,
you won't.
Because you, in every conversation we have about this, where I'm trying to get some facts, you have ulterior motives, and you don't want to say anything. There we go with the damn well. I'm about to drive up to wherever you live, right? And just hold me. They're going to say, Daddy. Little Tommy's going to say, Daddy, there's a black man outside. He looks angry. I'm telling you.
You have my son distinguishing your race?
Yes. Kids don't know no better, man. Kids don't, the funny thing about kids, They don't care. Like, ooh, that's a fat one. They don't like, you know what I'm saying? You're like, kids don't care.
But the negotiations with the CBA and what happens with the salary cap may matter more about whether these guys re-sign this summer.
And to be clear, that would mean that Giannis would play into the last year of his contract, and then, all bets are off. You never know when things like that happen.
Right, Greenberg. That does mean all bets are off. All bets are in. All bets are off. New dealer at the table.
All right.
Andy Ellisberg about to go to the blackjack table, Leroy. He's about to go like this. Flip the hands over and up. Check the sleeves. He's all good to go because it's time. It's time for Cap Hoist Gracie to go in there and put a squeeze on the Bucks.
Got to tell you, we didn't mention this, but one of the most shocking things that I've seen this weekend was the NASCAR protest. Did you see that?
Oh, no. Listen, that may be a more important topic, but I'm not going to let you skate and take away my glory here and just ignore what Windhorse said about the salary cap going down, taking away all shots of the Bucks, locking up Giannis Antetokounmpo this summer, thus opening up the recruitment path in 2021.
What's the word you're going to use this time?
What do you mean?
Because you used up may have.
What do you mean? I haven't said anything about Giannis that's negative.
When Giannis doesn't end up here.
I mean, if he doesn't get up here, then good. He gets to be in his little safe nest of Milwaukee. Good for you. You get to be the next Karl Malone. Enjoy.
All right.
Okay. Great. Good for you. But maybe he wants to take a chance. Roll the dice. Maybe instead, you ever hear, Leroy, there's no shame in joining him. If he can't beat Bam, join him. You ever think about that?
I can't wait for basketball to get started.
Bam gets out there. He's got that wingspan. He's like a pterodactyl. And Giannis is like, oh, I don't know what to do here. And then he falls on his face. It's very embarrassing for him because Bam just takes his lunch money. Bam doesn't want to take his lunch money, but if it's there for the taking, what are you supposed to do? Pay for your own chocolate milk? I think not. So all I'm saying is, Leroy, he just might get a little exhausted going to battle with Eric Bledsoe and Dellavedova. Is Dellavedova still there, Robbie?
On the Bucks?
Yeah.
I feel like he bounces around between the Bucks and the Cavs. Like I feel like
he doesn't want to. With the Lopez brothers, they think they're so cute. Oh, let's do some WWE moves. Who's not doing that? The Heat. You know why? It's not Heat culture. Going out there and doing the Stone Cold Stunner beforehand. Okay, ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where we are now.
Oh, you know what that time is? All right. Is it time to go out there and pretend you're wrestling, or is it time to go win basketball games? Carry yourself like you've been there before.
Dellavedova's back in the
Cavs.
Cavs.
You got a list?
Dellavedova is back there?
Things?
Yeah, he's in the Cavs.
You want to have an actual celebration, Leroy? Put the little horn on your head and go bah. That's a professional celebration right there.
With where this conversation is going, you think I'm more inclined to do more shenanigans or less?
I don't know. It's hard to. I never know.
My shenanigans meter is on low right now.
Why?
Because you just flooded my engine with all your
So I tried to
sauce.
overturn and start the car, and you're not doing it. I'm not spraying silly sauce with you. It genuinely does open the door.
You say that every time somebody says that I'm not signing the contract. He'd have a chance.
That's right.
Okay. From 0% to 100.
Yeah.
What do you think the percentages are? Why do I ask this question?
Giannis to the Heat, 47%. Up from 43, which was the percentage a couple days ago when you asked me the same question. And that'll just creep up. I need to know. I'll have a better gauge of the percentage, Leroy, when I see what the Bucks do in the postseason.
Somebody said Leroy looked like he got his ass whooped by an American flag.
It's good news. Shout out to Windhorst.
Really? You don't even believe that.
What? He's doing good reporting.
Really?
Got to give credit where. Hey,
he's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Do I not give credit where credit's due?
Kinda.
I'm not a deflect credit when he.
You give credit where credit is due if it fits what you want
Perhaps.
Right. So if Wendy then tomorrow said, I think the Heat have no chance to get Giannis, then he's back on the wall.
He's a hack. What do I care what he has to say?